Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me on a nasty give and go Tuesday afternoon. Everything canceled. So I was in the process of setting up this special interview with the Clark sisters from Ocean later in the week, but we decided let's do it today since everything was canceled. So I have senior Eli Clark and Kayden Clark, a junior. Girls, thank you for joining me after a very exciting week for Ocean Township basketball.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Now, the way we want to start, let's just talk about last week. And, you girls, the team Ocean, established, you showed against two other top 10 teams and assured that, you're part of the top four. And, there's definitely a little bit of a break from 4 to 5 now. So just talk about how you think the season's going, and this past week, beating Wall pretty easily, and then holding on to St. Rose after getting out to a really big lead.
Yeah, so I mean, we started out this week knowing that it was going to be tough. Playing 3 ranked opponents in 4 days was definitely going to be a challenge, and I knew starting off with RBC especially was going to be a big challenge to continue the stamina and endurance throughout the week, since we don't really have that many people on the team also, enough varsity players. So we knew we were gonna have to play the bulk of the game. And I think just going into it, we had to know that we've been prepping for these big games our entire career. Last year we prepped for big games. This year, we knew the girls, we just knew we had to come out and establish ourselves as a good team, especially against St. Rose and Wall this weekend. We knew we just had to come out, play like we always do, and just show them this is how we've always played.
Now, after you lost to RBC, what was the message coach gave you girls to just get you back on focus for the weekend? Because big game RBC, but you had 2 more coming up on the weekend.
I mean, going into it, we knew RBC would be a really tough game, so we weren't expecting we didn't have any expectations going into it. We just wanted to go play and have fun, and keep that same energy for the rest of the week, which was really important in getting those wins over Wall and St. Rose.
So what was it? Wall, it was close for the first half, and then what do you think changed in the second half that allowed your team to blow that game open?
I mean, this year our main focus has been the third quarter, especially against Manasquan and then RBC in the beginning of the week. We did not come out in the third quarter strong. We kept the first half tight, and then we came out in the third quarter weaker than we should have been. And I think after that game, we realized we let them score 75 points on us. That's not the type of team we are. We're a defensive team. And especially last year, we showed that in some tough games that we're a defensive team. And we weren't really showing that in the beginning of the year, I feel like. So he knew that if we wanted to win these games this weekend, we had to help hold these teams to a lower amount of points, because obviously every team has that tough scorer. Shane has Wall and Emily, St. Rose has Jada, and we knew holding them to a certain amount was going to put us over the top, because we can score, we can run in transition, but holding these other teams, these tough teams with good players, to lower amounts was going to be the key to us winning.
Now, you brought up, don't really have a deep bench, a smaller school.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about, but the 5, 6, Caroline, it gets in and stuff. Just talk about, how close this group is, because you could see it on the court. And do you think, even though you don't have a deep bench, being so close and being able to pick each other up is why, the team is so successful?
Well, we've been playing together since we were in 3rd and 4th grade. I mean, I've always played up with them. They're all seniors, I'm a junior, so we're all pretty much the same age, and Caroline's only a year younger than me. And we know what we're gonna do before we do it. We have such a good bond and chemistry that we just play so well together.
I mean, yeah, ever since freshman year, it's been about building this team and knowing that when we're juniors and seniors, what we can accomplish. And I think freshman and sophomore year was really the times to build each other, know each other's tendencies, especially since Janine came back from RBC. Everyone just trying to mesh together and trying to find our roles. And I think we really all have found our roles on the team, being, whether it be a scorer or get a big stop on defense. I think everyone knows what their responsibility is, and that's the way we can succeed as a team. We all obviously had to get in shape preseason, because we knew how much we were gonna have to play, and it's just about trusting one another and just showing it on the court that we all trust that anyone can make the big shot, anyone can get the big stop on defense. It's just about us playing with each other for a long time. That's been the case.
How exciting was it when you knew that, you always hear, a lot of times you see kids transfer, they leave public school to go to the private schools, the big, the big schools. How exciting was it when you knew that, Janine was, coming to play for, her home school, somebody that you've played with, growing up? How exciting was it for you two?
It was pretty insane. I remember hearing the news, we always talked to Janine, before she came back. We were like, Janine, you're the missing piece to our team. You're going to make it the difference. She was always like, I don't know, didn't know. But then eventually, when I heard the news, I think it was sophomore year, right?
Yeah.
Middle of sophomore year, we heard the news. She obviously couldn't play that year because she was transferred and she had to wait. But when we heard, I knew right at that moment, I knew next year was going to be a difference. I knew she was going to make an immediate impact on the team. Her scoring, her defense, she's just such a versatile player. And I mean, she's one of our best friends too. We've been playing with her forever. So it's just in the summer as well. It's just knowing that she was going to come to this team and play such an important role. It was amazing. I was super excited.
And even though when she first came back, she couldn't play, she could still practice with us. And she just brought up the energy and made it so much better also.
Yeah, she elevated everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the first, I think she was allowed to play 3 or 4 games before states and stuff. And I was at the first game, Tom's River East, and it, she looked like she was there. Obviously she was still getting familiar with the play sets and stuff. But as far as chemistry with the team, it looked like she didn't miss a beat, that she was there, the whole time with you two. All right. I think that's good for this season. We'll probably go back to a little bit this season for the future, but let's start. I wanted to ask, how old were you two when you started playing basketball?
We both started playing rec basketball in our town. I was probably in first grade.
Yeah,
she was probably in kindergarten or something. Yeah, she always played with me, so we've always just been playing together. But probably first grade. And then we played rec for a couple years. Then we played Mid-Monmouth in 4th grade, and then we just started playing school basketball.
Do you remember who your very first coach was?
It was our dad.
It was our dad.
He coached us.
Yeah, he coached us all throughout middle school,
and Mid-Monmouth.
And Mid-Monmouth, yeah.
Okay. And what team? What AAU team are you currently on?
I'm on the Short Shots, and
I played for the Short Shots too, but I'm obviously not playing anymore. But she's on the same. We played in the same organization.
Yeah.
Okay. Who was your coach?
My coaches are Candace Carmen and Tracy Sabino.
Okay, and that was you. You had the same coaches.
Yeah, I had Tracy Sabino and Bob Dabina.
Bob. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How everybody knows what a good program Short Shots runs. How did the coaches make you both of you could take turns answers better players and into the players that you are today?
Yeah,
they always just push us to be the best player we can be, and they hold us to such high expectations. They're never satisfied with what we're doing. They always push us to be more than what we are.
Yeah, I mean, when I came to the team in 7th grade, I was very I wasn't the best player I could have been. They knew my potential and what I could be. I didn't even realize what I could accomplish throughout my career playing basketball, because I didn't in 7th grade I didn't even know if I really wanted to play basketball in college or something like that. I didn't have that. I still played soccer. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I think they their intense practices, phone calls and stuff, even on the weekends and stuff, just helping me through the entire recruiting process, they made a big difference.
My next question, as you said, them being tough and wanting more out of you, do you think, obviously you two have your head on your shoulders and you realize that it's just like you said, they saw more out of you. Do you think if more players understood that, hey, the coaches are only hard on me because they see more, you think that would help a player in their mindset?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's also very important that especially the Short Shots, we support each other on the team. If the coach has something that puts us down, we pick each other up, which I think is very important also.
Yeah, it's a big idea about team basketball, playing together and helping one another. I feel it's not as much iso ball and whatever, it's running transition, all the things we learn in Short Shots, we learn to play in college, same kind of fundamentals they try to get through to us. So I mean, it's a very beneficial. I'm very happy that's where I stuck throughout my AAU career, just because of the mentoring I got, as well as the people I was around, like all Division I players, all great players, like just being around that atmosphere, I think really like shaped me into the player we are, like the players we are today.
Now, you brought up you played soccer. Kayden, did you play soccer as well?
Yeah.
Any other sports when you were growing up?
No, it was mostly just soccer.
and
We played,
basketball.
I mean, we basically like alternated like every day. Like we go from like basketball at middle school basketball practice, and we'd like run outside and put our cleats on like every day.
Yeah.
I mean, we loved it. It was just eventually we just grew out of soccer and started focusing more on basketball.
Yeah.
What is it about basketball that became your passion over soccer?
I think it just like one day it just clicked. Like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do in high school. This is what I want to do in college. And I love the people that we get to like meet playing basketball. Like whether it's with our high school or it's AAU, it's just so much fun.
I mean, yeah, I agree with her. I think it's like the same type of thing. Like also the fact that it's like more personal. I feel like in soccer, it's 11 people on the field. I mean, that was just one of the main things for me. Like I don't know. I just like sometimes I was like bored out there like running around. I feel like in basketball, it's just like intense like all the time. Like, and it's just such a fun sport to play. Like it's just the people you get to meet and everything.
I mean, soccer is I love soccer, but I can get what you say. Basketball, you need to have your head on a swivel the whole time. Soccer, if you're at the other end of the field, I can see you getting, if you're playing defense and your team's attacking the whole game, I could see you getting a little bored.
A little bored.
That's a good point. Now you could rotate, take turns answering this question. Entering high school, what were some goals you set for yourself that you wanted to achieve throughout your high school career?
Yeah. I mean, when I got into high school, I didn't really have a scorer's mentality, and I think I've gained that like year by year, which is really important to me because I know it's important to score. I also I just wanted to get like my skills better, like passing, like distributing the ball also, because Eli's a point guard and she doesn't get as many shots as she deserves. So I think it's important that I and the rest of the team gets her shots that she deserves to.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely one of the main things I wanted to focus on was physical wise, like getting faster and stronger, just because when I was a freshman, I obviously wasn't strong enough to play against seniors. And one of the main mental things I wanted to do is become a better leader. I just wanted to, because freshman year, you're obviously not going to be the leader on the team. Probably you're just the seniors have been there for 4 years. They've been through the program. I just wanted to become a better person, helping other people get better. Because especially coming into that new environment, high school environment, it was important for me to learn these skills that could also help in school and life and everything.
Were there any seniors that you were able to, lean on? Or, because going in as a freshman could be nerve-wracking. And any seniors that, helped you or that you were able to go to? It was a little different, Kate, because at least Kate had you in there. And, playing when Janine came on board, obviously. But did you have any seniors that you were, or any upperclassmen that you were able to, that you had a good relationship with or bond?
Yeah, of course. I mean, when I came to the school, I didn't even play in the first couple games because it was COVID and Kayden had COVID, so I had to quarantine the first week, and I was so upset that I wouldn't be there with the team and stuff. But then I started going to practice more after that week was over, and I met a couple of really good seniors that Ocean Township wasn't really a basketball school. They weren't basketball players. They were soccer players, lacrosse, whatever. But I just feel they taught me so much about how to be a leader on the court, how to hustle, how to just the little things that they've taught me have helped me become the player I am today and help me be a good senior to the new freshmen that we have that don't play basketball, but they want to become better at it. So I think those seniors just taught me a lot about being a leader and helping others.
Yeah, and you brought it up. I was going to bring that up too. How does it feel to put Ocean on the map? Because, up until 2 years ago, like you said, Ocean really wasn't a basketball school. And now, one of the best teams on the shore. You go, Coach Lazora's signing, you go into these showcases, these big events that get a lot of eyes on. How does it feel to be part of, you two being a big part of a reason why they're getting invited to these showcases and playing in these big events?
I mean, I know when I entered my freshman year, we knew what we could be, especially when Janine came back. We had the expectations for ourselves to be top 10 in the shore, and now we're top 5. And I think that's just really exciting. I think, like, since we've stuck together, since we've been playing since we were little kids, we have such a good bond and so much chemistry that we can just play, and like we go out there and we just play and we have fun, and we expect to win as a group.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to just play with these people and like know that everything that's occurred, like playing at the boardwalk, no one would have imagined that, like an Ocean Township team coming, like with all these private schools and like some of the best public schools in the area. But I mean, it really is just a team effort, like Sophia Chibukchin and Gamila Ben and obviously Caroline, like just everyone just coming together and really focusing in the beginning of the year, being like, these are our goals for this year. This is what we want to achieve. And just coming out there and just showing like what we can do. And I mean, we won at the boardwalk, which was like a great opportunity for us. And we took advantage of it, I feel like. And I hope in the future, this will help more like lower, like not known public school teams become like more recognized. And hopefully Ocean Township will keep sticking with basketball.
Yeah, I went to private school, obviously, but as I got back into covering sports, that I tend to root for the public schools now, because especially in basketball, the girls, you stay home, stay at your local school, and I love seeing the success there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wanted you brought up Sophia, who probably doesn't get the amount of attention that she deserves, but it feels like she has a knack of hitting a big shot every time.
She really does, yeah.
She hit a lot of big shots.
And when you girls are being focused on defense, I think I remember last year against Jackson Memorial, she had a pretty good game, and she has that mid-range jumper that she's good. How's it good, knowing that you have 5 girls that if say one of you is off that night, odds are all 5 aren't going to be off, and that you got somebody that could always, that pick up the slack if somebody is, not feeling it that day.
Yeah, I mean, our team, I feel like we've improved every year. Everyone's become better at something that they weren't good at before. Like the beginning of the year last year, Jackson Memorial, that was supposed to be like a big game, like intense and everything. We came out there and we just we just knew what we were capable of. We just did it. Like knowing that we can all trust each other on the court's probably the biggest thing about our team, that I know coming off a screen, they might double me. I can kick it back to Soph and she can make a big shot at the top of the key. Like I know Gamila, if I feed the ball into her, she's going to do like a good move. Like Janine, she can hit a big shot in the corner. Kayden, like obviously like everyone can do like these like big things. And I think that's what makes us so challenging, like our team so challenging to like scout or to like defend, just because we can all go off on a different night. And we don't care who does. We care about winning. Like we want to win right now. And knowing that every person can have a good game. Like Gamila had a good game last week. Kayden played great last week. Like everyone can come at a different time. And it's just hard for teams to like realize like what our strength is. Like our strength is playing like together.
And I think one of our biggest things is trusting each other. Like we know what each other can do. So like if someone's doing good that night, like we look to get them the ball, and like we just have so much trust in each other to do good.
Mm-hmm.
Kayden, this is more for you. Your sister being such a good point guard, how does that make it easier for you? Because she has a knack of getting the ball into the right person's hand if somebody's doubled, and whether it's you on the outside or Gamila underneath. How does it make your job easier to score points having a point guard as good as your sister?
I mean, we all just have so much trust in Eli to get us the ball. Like we're exactly right where we need it, and to get good shots off, it's important to have a good point guard who can get us the ball like where we need it. And Eli can also, she's so good at like driving and kicking it out to the corner, driving and dumping it into the post. It's so easy to get points off of a good point guard like her.
And I just want to bring up, Gamila back and just talk about her progress from her freshman year, because I saw some, you saw it her freshman and sophomore year. If she kept working and raw talent, you could tell hasn't played that long, but if she put her work in, and you're seeing a payoff this season, how dominant she could be, underneath, both on the defense and offensive end. How's it been, playing and watching her grow the past 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, she's probably the most athletic person I know. Like knowing that she had that talent, that like we all saw it, like we knew what she could be. It was just about her like getting the skills to do it. So I mean, ever since freshman year, I'm not gonna lie, she didn't have that much skill, but she knew like she had to work on it, and we started bringing her every single place we went, training after school, shooting, other like group training and stuff. AAU, like we brought her to our team, like we knew what she could achieve, and we knew she wanted to go to college on a scholarship, and that's what she got through her hard work and dedication. And I mean, where she's at today is shocking. That she's probably one of the best posts in the Shore and maybe even the state. Like, her improvement level each year, she's probably improved the most out of any player I've seen every single year, through her finishing, her strength, her conditioning. Like, she's one of our most consistent players right now.
Yeah.
I said, freshman and sophomore year, she could just, once she gets the fundamentals, she's going to be so tough to stop. Even just the footwork and stuff like that, like you said, because she's so athletic, that she was going to be tough to stop. And you could see she put the work in.
Yeah.
I want to bring a couple games from last season. First, let's talk of the Cherokee game. First, how exciting is it to play in a game? They were top 20 in the state. I think they were 10, right?
Yeah. 10.
Mm-hmm.
Playing first, you're playing a team like that in a showcase, being in a game so close, and then hitting that big shot, at the buzzer, no time left. First, just how exciting is to play in that game and go through hitting that shot.
It was probably the most exciting game we played in all year. Like, everyone, I don't think anyone thought we were going to win except us. Like, we weren't supposed to. Mm-hmm. And we just kept battling back. Like, we were down at the half. The anticipation, like, coming up to that game, like, everyone was just, like, nervous. Like, we had that, like, nervous, like, excited energy. Like, we knew we could beat them. They're probably the best defensive team we played last year. They're just insanely very, like, disciplined and everything. So we knew we had to come in focused. And the fact that we got to play in that game in the first place was just amazing. And then Kayden hit the big shot. And I mean, it was just, it was like a surreal moment. Like, as soon as she made the shot, like, the gym exploded. Like, it was amazing. Like, we saw other teams cheering for us. Like, everyone was just happy. Like, it was just an amazing time.
Yeah, I mean, it was really exciting hitting that shot. Like, my team, they all had trust in. That wasn't even like that's not what's supposed to happen. We were trying to get a layup to tie the game, but that's not what ended up happening.
I just kept dribbling backwards. Hopefully, I could find someone. Like,
I mean, she trusted me to hit it, so I had to shoot it. We didn't have much time left.
Yeah,
and I was excited.
And that your IQ, not you just said wasn't the play that was supposed to, and the Cherokee, who's always been a very tough defensive team, and just shows the IQ of you, switching, not forcing what wasn't there, and like you said, the confidence she had in you, to take that shot. So we'll talk about an exciting game. We got to talk about a negative game, but. I mean, Ewing, they were up pretty good early, but you girls battled back. I'm going to ask this: what were you able to take away for it? When you meet them, knock on wood, meet them again this year in the Group 3, Central Jersey finals. What were you able to take away from that game last year?
I mean, we know we can compete with them because the only thing that got us down was the first quarter, and then we were pretty much neck and neck with them for the rest of the game. So, we know we can compete with them, and we've been thinking about this game, the whole season. That's what we're looking forward to. We just want to play them again and show, what we can do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was, not to make excuses, just a lot of nervous energy, going into that game. I don't think we were, just ready to play that game. All of us weren't mentally on the same page. We weren't, locked in as much as we should have been. And knowing that this year we have that same opportunity, hopefully, with time, we'll see how it all plays out, but hopefully we get back to that same point, knowing that we've been in these big games now. We can come back from these and just showing people that we're capable of playing with these top 10 teams in the state.
What was Coach Lazor's message after that game? What was he trying to relay to the team?
I mean, he was just really proud of us for the season that we had. That was our last game, and he was not disappointed, but just upset at the fact that because he knows we could have won. Because really the only thing that hurt us was the first quarter. He knows we could have won, but he wasn't mad at us or angry. He was just proud of us and the season that we had.
Yeah, I mean, he knew that that last year was a year, but this year coming to the year, returning everyone, he knew. We all knew. I knew right after the game. I was disappointed, but I knew coming back into this season, I was okay, this is our time to go again. This is our last chance. It all matters now. This is what is going to really count. And I think that's our main message this year, just playing with everything we have left. This is I know it's not Kayden's last year, but this is our last year, as a group. So it's just leaving everything out there.
How exciting is it as a player? No, you make it to the finals, not the result you wanted, but hey, everybody's coming back next year. We're gonna have this chance once again.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I've been looking forward to this season since last game of viewing. Like, I've been nonstop thinking about everything we could be doing, how to get better, how to make our team better. And I mean, returning everyone obviously has made us stronger because we've been able to build that chemistry and trust each other more, especially playing each other throughout the whole season. We played in the fall together. Like, I mean, everything that's we've done has brought us closer together. And knowing that this is our last year together obviously means a lot. But we're, I think, so far at least living up to our expectations, and hopefully we're able to keep going to reach the other goals that we set in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I mean, you girls fought hard against Manasquan. They got out to a nice lead, and you came out of halftime not worried about the scoreboard. You just scrapped back. I think you got it to as close as 7 with the ball, but then Manasquan was able to hold on. So that has to also give you some confidence going into short comments. Hey, we hung with top 3 teams. We're right there with them. So is that what you were able to take away with the Manasquan game?
Yeah, definitely. Like, we knew we could play with them. Like, for most of the game, it was close, except for like they started building a lead, but then we got it back. Mm-hmm. It was close in the first half, close in the second. Like they obviously built a big lead, which we had to like chip away. But like we knew we could stick with them if we like. I think like none of us really played amazing that night. So I think if we all played better, I think we could really like stick with them.
I mean, it's mostly about like being consistent. Like obviously, like in the St. Rose game, it was coming out in that third quarter, and in the St. Rose game, we didn't come out as strong as we could in the third quarter. Like that first minute, they scored 6 points in a row, and then we had to regroup. We had to realize this is what we've been struggling with, and we had to come out and we got the lead back. We settled down, and like I think that like throughout the season, we're going to gain more confidence in the fact that like we need to come out in the third quarter strong. And I think that's been the main issue in these last couple like big games, that we need to just come out stronger for all 4 quarters.
Yeah, that's it. Especially coming out half. Usually one team comes out strong halftime, one team's a little flat. It's just not getting yourself in a big hole if you come out flat. So, All right, you get you girls ready for some rapid fire questions here?
Yeah,
we'll go back and forth. All right, first, what's your favorite TV shows?
Yeah. I really like Suits. I watched it a couple weeks ago.
Wow,
that's really good.
I've done maybe 200 of these, and I love that show. You're the first person. Usually I get Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, my favorite show is probably The Office.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about favorite movie?
Maybe like Clueless. I also like a lot of comedies, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I don't really watch
Clueless.
movies that much.
And what's the hockey movie called?
Miracle.
I like Miracle, the hockey movie. Yeah.
Excellent. I'm getting different answers finally. I like this. I interviewed Emily Tvorek. I interviewed her last week. She went to go see that wrestling movie that's out right now, and she said that's the best movie she's seen. Like, that's so weird. She saw it the night before I interviewed her. It was so okay. Favorite school subject?
Probably like math or science.
Math for me too.
What is something you two like to do when you're not playing basketball?
Just like spend time with my family. I love like spending time with my dogs too.
Yeah, I mean, I like hanging out with friends, just going. I mean, most of our life is basketball, so I mean, just hanging out with friends like outside of basketball, doing fun things like going out to dinner, going shopping and stuff. Like, I mean, it's fun to just like get away from basketball. Like in the summer, we'll go to the beach, just go swim, stuff like that.
What type of dogs do you have?
They're both rescues. They're like mutts. They're like lab mixes.
That's all my dogs were dogs. So, what is your go-to song before a big game to get you in the zone?
I'll listen to anything Drake or like SZA. I love SZA, or like J. Cole. Like mainly those 3 artists, just on replay. A bunch of different songs.
Listen to Drake a lot.
Yeah,
I know who Drake is, but usually I don't know who you girls answer that question whenever I do these interviews. What last question for this, I think. Well, actually, I got one more. What's your favorite food to eat?
French fries, probably.
Yeah, pizza.
Pizza. Okay. Would after your playing career is over, do you want to stay involved with the sport, like training or coaching?
Yeah.
I do too. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to coach like college. Like a lot of people, like a lot of basketball players, like want to do that. I maybe would just like want to do something like small, like in my town or whatever. Like, I mean, I'd always want to be around basketball. It's fun.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about college and get ready to wrap up too. So you're going to Lemoyne, is that right?
Yeah, Lemoyne. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was it about that school that you attracted you to the campus and everything?
Yeah, I mean, when I visited there the first time, it was just breathtaking. Like everything, like it's right near Syracuse. I don't know if you like know where it is, but it's like it's like 15 minutes away from Syracuse. Like it's just so pretty down there. Like the campus is beautiful. I wanted to go to like a smaller school, and it's a good small school. It has like good education. I want to study like business in college, and they have a really good business program there. And then like with basketball wise, like the coaches were some of like the nicest people. Like they really care about like my progress and like my development. And the way Lemoyne's like rebuilding their
They just
team
changed
right now,
divisions, right?
yeah, like the way they're rebuilding right now is kind of like they compared it to how we had to like rebuild Ocean Township school basketball. So that really meant a lot to me, like knowing that I could be a part of this new beginning. And I mean, I don't know if you saw, but Lemoyne just had their first NEC win. So I mean, they're already off to a good start. So I'm very excited.
That's a good comparison, and that should being part of something new is exciting.
Yeah.
What advice have you given to your sister about the recruiting process?
I mean, just to not stress out. Like it's a long process. It's very stressful, and I got very stressed at some points, and I let it affect me. But just playing freely, just appreciating the little moments, like knowing that it'll all work out in the end. Like, and that's what I tell some of my friends too, like that haven't committed to a school yet. Like just let it just play like how you like, because I didn't play comfortable when I was like in the process. I was just always stressed out, but like just play like you know how to play and it'll all work out.
Kayden, what is something you're looking for in like a school if you're going on campus? But your sister said small. She was looking for a smaller campus. Is that something like what are type of things you're looking for?
I mean, definitely like a good academic school is really important to me. I care a lot about school and like how I do. I definitely want to stay like closer to home. Like definitely like stay on the East Coast, like near here.
Do you know what you want to study yet?
I mean, I'm in the business like program at my high school, so I'm already getting like credits for like college classes for that. So I'm probably just gonna stick with that because I'm interested in it too.
Okay. What do you two want to do? I mean, you could say you don't know this because you got a long way to wait to this. But what do you want to do after school, after college, in the business field? If you don't know, you could just be honest.
Honestly, yeah, I have no idea. I used to like want to be like a teacher and stuff, but then I started like realizing like I'm interested in business and like I like maybe like something with like marketing or something like talking to people. Like I mean, that's kind of interesting to me. So probably something along that line.
Okay. All right, here's my last question to both of you. Actually, I got two more questions. Well, it's kind of the same thing because I like to ask, what do you hope to pass down to the underclassmen? So combine that with what would you pass down, and what advice would you give to your young, like if you were 10 years old, what advice would you give yourself?
Yeah, I mean,
you're kind of
yeah. Mainly like my main thing right now that I've learned, I think, is just to appreciate the little moments. Like I've become, and I know people around me have become so stressed out with things that they can't control. And I think just living in the moment and taking it one day at a time, I think will make all the difference because there's no point in stressing over things you can't control in life. And like passing down to teammates and stuff, I'd just say, get in the gym, like just work hard because no one expected Ocean to become a thing. And I think the hard work that everyone's put in, our entire team, has made all the difference. So just getting in the gym, working hard, and just not letting people like put a label on you like for like what you can become.
My advice would probably just be like, don't listen to what others have to say about you, Because like Eli was saying, people like put labels on us, and we didn't focus on that. We just focused on like what we believed in and like what we could do for ourselves.
Yeah, that's good. And I didn't have to deal with social media growing up, but you first people forget, your teenage kids playing sports. You're not grown-ups, and you got to try to block everything out and just like you said, just worry about who's close to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't worry about the naysayers and stuff, and you could just prove them wrong on the court or in life being successful. So
yeah.
All right, girls, thank you for taking time out today. This was a very fun interview. Especially we really didn't use an outline at all, so that's even better. But I wish you luck the rest of the season, and obviously I'll be pulling for you in Central Jersey Group 3 to beat Ewing, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me today, and stay warm, and hopefully it doesn't snow too much. And hopefully tomorrow games don't get canceled. So have a good night, everyone.